So Brian Norman Jr. is now the WBO 147 champion welterweight. With now Terrence Crawford leaving the 147 division, he's having the super status, so he'll be able to fight the winner of Spence or Fedor, and be able to fight for that belt immediately. I guess after the next matchup he has, and this is gonna basically be for a good situation for Brian Norman. He just revealed that him and Teofimo Lopez tried to set up a fight for late September with so many dates not available, especially with like the Zone putting together the huge card with Saudi, and also with Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. Have a lot of the Wembley edition coming up. So with that being said, it's going to be a nice situation for a lot of these guys. 147 is starting to heat up again, and Brian Norman is basically a huge reason why. I know we have guys like Boots and Mario Barrios there, but with Brian Norman stepping in, him being a younger guy, he's now making it his duty to actually take over this division, and he wants to be known as a big-time name at 147. I know a lot of people haven't mentioned his name with guys like Boots Ennis or anybody else, but Brian Norman Jr. is still a huge threat when it comes to anybody fighting him right now. If anybody wants to step in and be able to fight him at this time, if it's a big fight, especially with the situation he's in right now, it could definitely be made. And I'm glad that him and Teofimo was actually in a situation where they actually tried to make a fight together. But I know it's a lot of dates in September, and people don't realize that. But I think Inoue fights in September, Canelo, Joshua, it's a couple of other names I can't think of right now. They have like 4 or 5 big fights in September. So trying to push that fight in September was definitely not going to happen. But I know it's a good thing, man. I'm glad Brian Norman is able to become the new champion, because he's done a lot lately, especially took some hard fights. I know the Quentin Randall fight, people thought that he looked sloppy and everything. It was just a bad style matchup. Had nothing to do with him. I know Floyd Schofield's had the same situation recently with one of his fights. So it doesn't totally go on the guy who's the aggressor, or usually these guys just don't want to basically fight the style that they came in fighting their whole career. So they switch things up, fights get sloppy, and it usually looks like that, but he pulls out the victory. And people seen recently with the Santillan fight that, yeah, he's been an issue for a while now. He's been telling people that, but a lot of fans been overlooking these guys until they actually see it happen in the ring. And with most of these boxers, they don't really give you a story as far as saying they're ready before they're ready. Most of these guys don't say they're ready until they're actually ready. If you actually check the history of boxing, a lot of guys just don't say, yeah, I'm ready for this and that. Especially, you got to check these guys' backgrounds too. If they said that before and they wasn't ready, they're not going to be ready the next time. So most of the guys who says I'm ready and they haven't shown you a reason why they're not ready, those are the guys you have to go with as far as with these fights. But overall, man, I think it was a good situation for Brian Norman Jr., for him to be able to get into this situation and get with Top Rank, to speed his career up, have this 147 division so wide open that a lot of people not even thinking about his situation, because you have Terrence Crawford, the Boots situation, then with Spence, and he's been able to come right in and just make himself a household name now, because he is going to be a household name. He is a household name now. The reason why I know he's a household name, because he got booed after a victory. So anytime somebody does that, you know what time it is. So it's definitely at the point right now where he's going to be a household name. They're definitely going to pull up chairs to see his next fight. And with 147 being on his radar, it's going to make the division a lot better. I think it really is. And he's doing a lot in boxing right now, to the point where he's not really focused on the belt. I mean, the belt came because he put in the work. Really, the last fight that he had could have been for a belt. So with this whole situation now, he's doing a good job just navigating and taking his time, just building up his confidence and everything he's doing. I know he's already confident, but I'm just showing people, once you get that weight off your shoulders, when you're showing these people that who you really are, you have to answer these same questions and have opponents question you, and the media asks you certain questions about your future. They already know what time it is now. A lot of those questions he don't have to ask no more. So that's the good thing about what's going on. But I'm glad he's able to get this belt, and for Terrence Crawford to be able to move on, but Brian Norman to also receive this belt, and for him to be a champion, which is well deserved, especially with the last year he's had. He's probably one of the most active guys on Top Rank the last year or so. So I'm glad he's making these moves and everything. I'm glad WBO actually went ahead and gave him the belt. I actually thought it would happen sooner, but it's happened now. So it's a good situation. Now people can actually focus in on him possibly fighting Boots. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.